What's up mga ka-Ethantastic? Welcome back to my channel. If you've been following our sacred journey in the Jubilee year, you'd know that this is a continuation of our incredible pilgrimage to the four major basilicas. But today, we are switching gears from holy to historic as we explore the one and only eternal city, Roma, Italia. They say all roads lead to Rome, and for good reason. This city is where history, empire, faith, art, and pasta all come together in one unforgettable destination. Every street corner tells a story, and today, I'm taking you with me to walk through the legends, from the Colosseum to the Trevi Fountain and beyond. Tara na! Yala yala! Andiamo! Let's go! First up on our Roman adventure, the iconic Colosseo or the Colosseum. This legendary amphitheater was commissioned by Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty around 72 AD and was completed by his son Titus in 80 AD. It was built as a grand gift to the Roman people, a symbol of power, unity, and imperial generosity after the chaos of Nero's reign. Designed to entertain the masses, the Colosseum hosted everything from gladiator battles to wild animal hunts and even staged naval battles. Thanks to its ability to be flooded with water, imagine that, a sea battle in the middle of a stadium. As I looked into its towering arches and crumbling corridors, I could almost hear the roar of 80,000 spectators cheering for their favorite gladiators. The scale and engineering are jaw-dropping, from the underground chambers where fighters and animals waited, to the massive retractable awning system that shaded the crowds. Despite centuries of earthquakes, stone robbers, and time, the Colosseum still stands as a symbol of Rome's ancient glory. And yes, it's rightfully recognized as one of the new seven wonders of the world. Trust me, no matter how many pictures you have seen, standing here in person is on a whole different level. Just a few steps from the Colosseum stands the majestic Arco di Constantino or the Arch of Constantine. This triumphal arch was erected in 315 AD to commemorate Emperor Constantine the Great's victory over Maxentius at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. It is the largest surviving triumphal arch in Rome, and what's fascinating is that it's like a collage of Roman greatness. It reuses sculptures and reliefs from earlier emperors like Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius. This wasn't just recycling, it was Constantine's way of associating himself with Rome's golden age. Standing beneath its three arches, carved with scenes of victory, sacrifice, and imperial rule, I couldn't help but feel like I was walking through a living timeline of Roman history. And the fact that it marks the moment before Constantine legalized Christianity, even more powerful during this Jubilee year. Next up is the heart of ancient Rome, the Foro Romano or the Roman Forum. Walking through this sprawling archaeological site feels like flipping through the pages of a living history book. This was the center of Roman political, religious, and commercial life for centuries, from Senate debates to triumphal processions. Everything happened here. You'll see ruins of grand temples, basilicas and arches, including the Temple of Saturn, the Arch of Septimius Severus, and the House of the Vestal Virgins. It is surreal to stand on the same cobbled path where Julius Caesar once walked, and in fact, his altar and burial site are still here. With every broken column and carved stone, the Forum whispers the legacy of an empire that shaped the world.
Con un voucher, devo dire il nome perché siamo ai fori imperiali, si chiama Vesta, per cui come faccio a non dire come si chiama proprio qui a Roma, ed è un voucher destinato alle famiglie, chiaramente quelle meno in difficoltà di quelle di vita nascente, ma costituirà un ulteriore incoraggiamento alla natalità, perché
Climbing up the Campidoglio or Capitoline Hill, I found myself in one of the most symbolic spots in Rome. The Monumento a Vittorio Emanuele II. The Monumento a Vittorio Emanuele II, also called the Altar of the Fatherland, this monumental structure was built to honor King Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of a unified Italy. Constructed from gleaming white marble and adorned with grand staircases, majestic columns, fountains, and bronze statues, the monument truly makes a statement. At its center is a massive equestrian statue of the king himself, and beneath it lies the tomb of the unknown soldier, watched over by two solemn guards and an eternal flame that burns in memory of fallen soldiers. Locals often call it the wedding cake or the typewriter because of its bold and unique shape. But whether you love it or think it's a bit too much, there's no denying its presence is powerful. You can even ride an elevator to the top for one of the best panoramic views of Rome. It is a bold symbol of national pride and unity. In addition to being a patriotic landmark, the monument also houses the Museo Centrale del Risorgimento, which showcases Italy's unification journey through historical documents, flags, weapons, and artwork. It is a great stop for anyone who wants to understand not just ancient Rome, but also the more recent story of how Italy came together as one nation. Whether you're here for history, views, or photography, this spot deserves a pause and some admiration. I walked a few minutes through Rome's charming cobblestone alleys and landed right in front of one of the most jaw-dropping ancient buildings still standing, the Il Pantheon or the Pantheon. Agrippa Elefkos Tertium Fecit. This architectural marvel has been here for nearly 2,000 years, and honestly, it still feels futuristic in how it was built. The original Pantheon was commissioned by Marcus Agrippa around 27 BC, but the version we see today was rebuilt by Emperor Hadrian around 120 AD. The inscription on the front still honors Agrippa, M. Agrippa Elefkos Tertium Fecit, which means Marcus Agrippa, son of Lucius, made this building during his third consulship. Imagine walking into a building that's older than most centuries. The dome is a real showstopper. It is the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world, even today. At its center is the oculus, an open circular window that lets natural light pour in and even rain when the weather changes. There is something incredibly peaceful about just standing here, looking up, and feeling the symmetry and silence of the space. Today, the Pantheon serves as a Catholic church, the Basilica of St. Mary and the Martyrs, and inside, you'll find the tombs of some pretty important Italians, including the great artist Raphael and the first kings of unified Italy, Vittorio Emanuele II and Umberto I. Stepping into the Pantheon isn't just about seeing a monument, it's about touching eternity. And now, we are at one of the most iconic and romantic spots in all of Rome, the Fontana di Trevi or the Trevi Fountain. As soon as you turn the corner and see it for the first time, it honestly takes your breath away. Towering at over 26 meters high and 49 meters wide, it is the largest Baroque fountain in the city and probably the most famous fountain in the world. The fountain was completed in 1762 by architect Nicola Salvi with sculptures by Pietro Bracci. At its center stands Oceanus, the god of the sea, riding a chariot pulled by two seahorses, one wild, one calm, symbolizing the changing moods of the ocean. Every detail is dramatic and elegant, with the water flowing over rocks and around the statues in a way that feels alive. It's like a masterpiece in motion. And of course, I had to take part in the tradition, tossing a coin and making a wish. Legend says that one coin means you will return to Rome, two coins mean you'll fall in love, and three, well, that means wedding bells. The coins collected here, believe it or not, amount to thousands of euros each day and are donated to Caritas to support charitable projects. The Trevi Fountain isn't just a stunning work of art, it's a symbol of hope, romance, and connection. Surrounded by the buzz of tourists and the soothing sound of cascading water, it's easy to understand why this fountain captures the heart of everyone who visits. Truly, a must-see stop in the Eternal City. And now, mga ka-Ethantastic, we've made it to one of the most iconic and photogenic spots in all of Rome, the Escalinata de Trinita dei Monti, more famously known as the Spanish Steps. Whether you've seen it in movies or on postcards, nothing beats the feeling of actually being here, standing on these legendary steps. The Spanish Steps were built between 1723 and 1725 to connect the Piazza de España below with the Trinita dei Monti Church at the top. There are exactly 135 steps, and they were funded by a French diplomat but are named after the nearby Spanish embassy to the Holy See. It's truly a cultural blend. People from all over the world come here to relax, take in the atmosphere, and snap the perfect Instagram photo. Though remember, sitting or eating on the steps is now prohibited to help preserve them. At the base, you will find the beautiful Fontana della Barcazia, sculpted by Pietro Bernini and his more famous son, Gian Lorenzo Bernini. It is shaped like a sinking boat and adds even more charm to the piazza. From the top, you'll get sweeping views of the rooftops of Rome, and it's also just steps away from designer shopping streets. Whether you're here to soak in the history, the Romans, or just take a break from your Roman adventure, the Spanish Steps are a must visit. Our Roman journey continues at one of the most vibrant and artistic squares in the Eternal City, Piazza Navona. Piazza Navona was actually built on the site of an ancient Roman stadium, the Stadium of Domitian. That's why it has such an unusual long and oval shape. In ancient times, it hosted athletic games and competitions, but today, it's a showcase of Baroque art and architecture. At the heart of the square is the stunning Fontana dei Quattro Fiumi, or Fountain of the Four Rivers, created by the legendary Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Each of the four river gods represents a major river from different continents: the Nile, Ganges, Danube, and Rio de la Plata, symbolizing the reach of the Catholic Church across the world. Just behind it stands the beautiful church Santa Agnese in Angone, designed by Borromini, Bernini's artistic rival. Around the piazza, you'll find two more fountains, the Fontana del Moro and the Fontana del Nettuno, and tons of cafes where you can relax with a cappuccino and watch the world go by. Whether you're here for the history, the art, or just joyful atmosphere, Piazza Navona captures the soul of Rome in every corner. I also visited La Chiesa di Sant'Ignacio di Loyola in Campo Marcio, or the Church of St. Ignatius of Loyola. Dedicated to St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, this church was built in the 17th century and is known for its incredible ceiling frescoes by Andrea Pozzo. When you look up, it feels like the heavens have opened right above you, thanks to a technique called quadratura, which creates a breathtaking illusion of three-dimensional space on a flat ceiling. One of the most surprising features here is the fake dome. Yes, you heard that right. It's not a real dome. Due to budget constraints, the church never constructed an actual dome, so Andrea Pozzo painted a trompe l'oeil, an optical illusion, that looks unbelievably real from a specific viewing point. You'll even see people lining up to check out a strategically placed mirror on the floor, which reflects the ceiling and lets you take in the full illusion without hurting your neck. I also had the opportunity to visit La Chiesa del Santissimo Nome di Gesù all'Argentina, or simply Chiesa del Gesù. This is the mother church of the Society of Jesus, or the Jesuits, and it is where their legacy of faith, mission, and education radiates most strongly. A deeply moving part of this church is the Chapel of St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. Beneath the stunning altar lies his tomb, surrounded by precious stones and golden glory. But perhaps, what will really astonish you is the relic house in a nearby chapel, the incorrupt right hand of Saint Francis Xavier, the great Jesuit missionary to Asia. That very hand baptized tens of thousands across India, Japan, and beyond. Seeing it here is both humbling and powerful, a testimony to the global reach of the faith. I also paid a visit to the Basilica di Santa Maria sopra Minerva. It's called Sopra Minerva because it was built over the ruins of a temple dedicated to the Roman goddess Minerva, a reminder of how Christian Rome has risen from its ancient past. This church is also the final resting place of a true intellectual giant of the Catholic Church, Saint Catherine of Siena. Her body lies beneath the main altar, making this a powerful pilgrimage site. Her head, by the way, is in Siena, but her presence here is profoundly felt. And our last stop for our Rome visit is the Scala Santa, the holy stairs located just across from the Basilica of St. John Lateran. These 28 marble steps are believed to be the very staircase that Jesus climbed during his passion, brought to Rome from Jerusalem by St. Helena in the 4th century. Pilgrims from around the world ascend the stairs on their knees in prayer and reflection, seeking indulgence and grace. At the top is the Sancta Sanctorum, once considered the most sacred chapel in all of Christendom. It is a humbling and powerful moment to witness or even join this moving tradition of faith and devotion. Mga ka-Ethantastic, what an unforgettable journey this has been, from the ancient ruins and majestic fountains to the sacred churches and powerful moments of prayer and reflection. Walking through the eternal city during the Jubilee year has deepened my faith and awe for this place where history, art, and spirituality come together in every corner. If this blog inspired your soul or sparked your love for travel and culture, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until our next Ethantastic adventure, sempre avante in fede at paglalakbay. Ciao!